Well, all right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming. I'm very glad that I have a chance to present a bit the company which I'm working for. it's it's called Wisi. It's coming from Germany, but well, originally I am from Poland. My name is Mikolaj Salanski, and I'm happy to have a business here in the Mediterranean region and few other places on Earth. I would like to just draw your attention to how all the ideas that we could see throughout all the day are to be implemented in many different systems that we can see all over the world, especially here in Greece, in hotels and other different installations. But before it happens, that's what I would briefly like to talk about, starting with who we are, and then some head-ends, then some new solutions for different content transmission. I hope you like it. So, welcome to Wisi. We are a German company, but recently we are not that German anymore. We are a bit more international, as you will be able to see in the next slides. We are based in Niefern, like 40 kilometers from Stuttgart, west. So that is our headquarters. We do manufacture most of our equipment there, which has a big influence on the quality. We've been established in 1926, so we are pretty old company. Like we've been celebrating 2 years ago our 19th birthday. So here are a few milestones that that shows our development. Right now, I think that it doesn't make sense to go through all the details. What is important, that Wisi is a family company. It was originally meant by Wilhelm Zinn. That's why it's VZ. And right now, his grandson, Mr. Axel Zinn, he is actually the CEO of the company. So everything is still in private hands, which allows us to be quite competitive. I mentioned that we are not that German anymore. Why? That's because we have acquired recently several different companies from different places, like Swedish A2B and Swedish Antenna. So right now we have a Wisi Norden. We have also acquired 2W.com, the German company, and the newest kid in our family would be Inca Networks from Canada. I will just show you a bit later why we did it. So that's how our company is working. Beside those which I already mentioned, we have several local offices here all around Europe and in Canada, because we just acquired them. This is, I think, pretty important stuff. Why to work with us? Because with us you can have all different kinds of signals combined or play with to all streaming formats, to all video. You can use all video codecs. We are giving the possibility for you to choose how and which services you want to process, and obviously to satisfy your customers. How you do that? With a huge amount of visibility, reliability, and usability. Altogether, it makes the solutions so good for any kind of network. So, as I mentioned, we are pretty worldwide already. In some places we have only local partners. In some of the places we have factories. In some of the places we have also R&D centers. And we are really, really growing all the time. Among those partners, of course, we have our Greek partners, Athens Electronix. So thank you very much for inviting me here and having a chance to present that. So, firstly, Wisi head-ends. Why we would start with that? Because we can handle the streams, as it's written here, from any format to any format, for any size of a network, and for any place in the network. So, either you can have the full system done with us, either you can have only part of it if you are having Sorry? Oh, okay. I thought I was speaking loud enough, but okay. So that's why it's so important to show this flexibility and usability. Again? Yeah. So the first solution that we might, well, that actually you might like, we call Tangram. Tangram originally is the Asian game when you put different blocks to have different pictures. With this solution, you have dedicated modules to do the task that you want them to do. I mean that, for example, you have cards to receive satellite signals. You have cards for CI's decryption, or you can you have different other receivers. You can you can have IP output streaming. By dedicated modules, you can have pretty flexible system. That's how it actually looks. You have pretty dense rack. At the back of it, you can put different modules inside. Later on, if you decide to change your idea of the network infrastructure, simply by changing the module, then you have it. But then you say, well, okay, I will pay now for the module, and what should I do later if I change my mind? Well, how about use a Swiss knife for it? We call it a chameleon. And that's exactly the whole headend in one box, which can today be simple IRD, so receiving satellite and having terrestrial output. And tomorrow, if you decide to change your idea, to change your mind, simply by calling our friends or calling us directly, you can get something completely different. It usually takes around 30 minutes due to the fact that we need to set another interface. But this is extremely, extremely simple and very flexible. You can combine, obviously, several modules like that. For example, with encoder, with HDMI. So this will allow you to use another different sources to have more signal in your network, more signals in your network. What you can have a typical television, and then you can add some signals from set-top boxes, either from security cameras, whatever. Why? Well, to have everything what you need. I don't want to go through all the technical details because, we can talk it later at the booth. It doesn't make sense now. But I would like you to have this in your mind that you really can do a lot in terms of signal processing with us. Right, so let's just skip it. I think this slide was already presented earlier on. This one module of Chameleon, you can really set in different environments for different purposes, of course. So you can have very simple one in a 1U rack unit for one or two modules like that. So then you have pretty simple head, and then you can combine more and more and more modules with all the features of management, monitoring. So you don't need to be present there by pushing buttons. It's just to have an internet access, and you can actually do everything remotely, which is pretty nice feature, I guess. And combining all of that together, we are very proud to get the award from SCTE for this particular solution. As you can see, it's been a few years ago, but the product is still being developed, and we have actually 2 years ago implemented the completely new design of FPGA in it, which allowed us to make the capacity of it sometimes 4 times bigger than originally. So right now it's extremely dense and flexible headend, which even here in Greece, some of the companies could already learn how nice it is to play with that. Few references about the headends. I could have only slides about it and talk for a few hours probably, but just to show that we are working with all the big players in the markets all around the globe, but not only. And working with the big customers, it's one part of a story, but I personally prefer to work with a smaller company when we can have adjust solution, so something which really fits to what is needed. Not that we have something like that, either you like it, either you go away and for somebody else. No, we want to have this feeling that we are doing this together and we are doing this for you. So as you can see, there are big telco operators, there are big cable operators on the list. Some of the, like for example in Romania, recently we've been chosen to work with the Parliament for NATO summit. Also for sports, for football championships in Brazil, we are also in 3 Formula 1 tracks with Chameleon. Why I'm saying this? Well, okay, because it's nice. And secondly, as you can see, this is all different kinds of signal processing needed for different purposes. And all of that is done with one simple box, that big, something like that. But okay then, it's probably pretty expensive, I don't need it. Very well. Listening to this kind of ideas, we have come up with a micro headend. So something which you can actually take out from the box, install, plug and play, and forget it. We call it OM. It's been designed by the special request of Fransat, so the satellite, the French operator. But apparently, most of the other customers decided, well, come on, it's good, let's use it. And right now, I have to tell you that after France, of course, Greece has become the third country in the number of units we have delivered. It's very simple. It can allow you to have 6 satellite signals and then to have either 6 terrestrial signals, either cable. So either you have DVB-T, either you have DVB-C at the output. It also allows you to have the decryption. I know that most of the channels here in Greece are FTA, but sometimes you might want to use some premium channels from the same satellite. That's something really interesting and worth of trying. And I believe that you can also ask some of the satisfied customers already here in Greece. If you would like to know more, just go to the website, it's written here, where you can even get the access to the device so you can see how easy it is to play. It's also interesting, I mean, it's just a feature, but pretty nice. Right now, most of us, we are using our cell phones for everything, mostly. This device is equipped with the Bluetooth system, so you can, by installing our application for Android, iOS, you can get the access to it by Bluetooth, so you don't need to go to the wherever the headend is, like at the attic or basement, whatever. Just it's enough to be in the range of Bluetooth, and then suddenly life becomes even easier. Few functionalities are written here. So basically what you can do with that, you can receive satellite, multiplex before and after CAM, which allows you to create the packages as you want them for your networks. It's equipped also with USB port. So with a memory stick, you can have either short movie, either some advertisement on it. It's not for the VOD. Because for VOD you can choose a bit different solution. We have also this hotel mode. I know it might be something interesting here. So the idea is it has a static output PIDs, which means that whatever happens on the input with the signals, you still have the same programs at the output, so you don't need to worry about what happens if the satellite provider will change the frequencies or something. Well, nothing will happen, you will not even notice. And then, what if I need very simple solution? What if I don't want to have any encrypted channels? I just want to receive them and I want to transmit them into my network. Well, here is the very, very simple solution, which allows you to receive up to 16 satellite frequencies and combine them together and have the, well, today, only DVB-C, so cable standard output, but I'm pretty sure within a few weeks we are going to have also the one with DVB-T, which for Greek market is something I think a bit more interesting. So we are coming back to that. As you could see, all of the things I presented earlier are using, well, you can actually describe them by this wheel here, circles. And why is it that popular? Well, because it's not only about the technology. Obviously, technology is important. But this is also, it goes together with the support. And not only the support that we provide in Germany, not the support that we might provide in the other locations of our company, but also of the support of the local partners that we have all around the planet, like here in Greece AMF, but we have local partners in every country we are working in, because it's important for us to be close to the customer or whoever. With some of the new things I would like to present as well. So what happens, we heard from Grzegorz that sometimes we might face the problem of lack of bandwidth. Well, what you do then, you just need to find it somewhere, and it's a good idea to use a transcoder for it. Well, we have a solution coming from Canada. That's why we actually inquired Inca, because we decided that if there is somebody who knows perfectly how to do it, it doesn't make sense for us to invent the wheel again. So that's our new baby. It's a, again, pretty dense platform. Flexible because, again, it's a modular solution, so you can have different modules in it depending on how many streams you like to play with, to process them. Altogether, it allows you to have IPTV, it allows you to have OTT, so everything which is right now so popular and so important for the viewers, let's see. What else you can do? Well, you know, the codecs are changing, the standards are changing, technology is going further and further and further. There was an analog television some time ago. Later it came digital with MPEG-2, MPEG-4. Recently we see that things are going further, and the new codecs are on the market already, like HEVC for the 4K television. There are countries already, like Slovakia. They have already officially announced that HEVC will be the codec for DVB-T2 4K transmission, and they are actually working right now to switch off everything else in the DVB-T. So they said that the deadline is about to be 2020. Well, we'll see about that. But anyway, the world is moving, and we don't want to stay behind. That's why we are having all of those solutions. That's exactly how it looks. Pretty dense. You can have everything, and in that chassis you can have full OTT solution, right? So it comes with a transcoder, packager, origin server. You can add middleware to it. So in one box you can serve, well, depending on what you will put back there, from 100 to, I don't know, 1,000 customers easily. And by customer, I mean not the single device. I mean at least 3 profiles. So it's pretty good solution. It's scalable. You don't need to invest a lot at the beginning. It's enough. Well, it's just enough to start with one module, and then while growing, while getting new customers, carry on. We will be very happy to deliver. With this solution, there comes a lot of monitoring. Some of them are included in a package that we are giving. For some other, you might like to pay more, depending on how deep you want to monitor signals. Over here, VDOS is a very advanced monitoring system. It shows all very detailed information about the stream. It's designed more for big cable operators, like UPC here in Europe, but I don't see any problem with everybody else using that as well. All of that, all of our solutions, and I think it's important to say, this is hardware-based. Whoa, I don't like this idea of having the black thingy standing in front of me, but, I think most of us had experience when some application got frozen, some update started to, work, and stopping you or your device to, from being something reliable. That's why we have the hardware solution. And, some say, or might say, but maybe it's not that flexible, or maybe this is a bit more expensive. But, I'm the person that I like to have something which I know that I can rely on. And, that's how it is. That's why the big operators are going for it, instead of having systems based on the PC and Windows, we all know how the Windows works, right? So, with this transcoding solution, with our packager, we're giving you the multi-screen launch platform. So this is a fixed solution to serve 500 customers, like a plug and play. You just need to deliver streams in, and then you will get 3 profiles to each, depending on devices that they are using, so TV, laptop, and mobile device. Just plug and play. And this is really not a marketing, you're just standing here and talking things. Now, what I want to show you, that's exactly how it works, how it looks. And some hotels are already using that. But feel free, just go to the website, and then you will see, you will be connected to the live working system in Vancouver, Canada. So you can see how it really works, how smooth it is, and then just it's a matter of imagination how it can fit into your system. So coming back a few slides, I know it's a bit late, but that's some of the things which you can do using our solutions, right? So again, you can have all kinds of inputs, and then having, using the public internet with over HLS protocol, you can, what you can do? Well, you can give the services to your customers. For the hospitalities, I think that's the right market here. So it works good. It's been there is a certificate we got from Samsung and LG that our system can work with their middleware. We have the certificates for that. So if you have your TVs of those brands in your networks or hotel, there's no really problem to work with that. For the hotel guests, of course, they are getting really professional solution. Then you don't need to worry that something might not be working, or I want to see a game and suddenly it's not there and stuff like that. This is just not happening. Again, that's how the interface looks. Simply how this can be implemented. Again, let's skip that one. But then, what if we have, for example, several hotels in different places, and we don't want to invest in I don't know, putting fiber or between them or any other cable? Well, no problem. Why don't you use a public internet for it? So again, at the input, then you would have our transcoding solution. Then over public internet, the data goes to our HLS IRD, which means it will receive the HLS streams and combine again to the multicast, or even there is a variant of it with a modulator, so actually it will convert HLS into DVB-T or C. So again, with one dense box, put it somewhere in your system, you are having exactly that what you wanted without paying for all the infrastructure. And internet is mostly everywhere right now, so you can have it pretty soon. Right, so as you can see, for all different kinds of networks. We are also certified when we are working with the vendors of well, CAS. So just connect the CAS server to it, and suddenly you can use all the internet again. As you can see, there are several different scenarios. We can talk about them in details later on. I think it's the time that, yeah, it is. Yes, for me to stop that. But anyway, I would like you to have this impression after that, after this this presentation, that, well, okay, technology is an important part of this business, but without the support, without the local presence, it's impossible to be successful. And that's why all the ideas that we might have, all the things that we want to have later in the well, in our networks, it has to be, well, it must be based on the communication and trust and those things that it's not happening in the business very often. And we are coming back to this, to those circles. We do provide support. It's not a marketing blah blah blah. It's reality, and that's it. So if you have any questions, well, I will be happy to answer later. We can do that at our booth here with our friends from AMF. I'm also open for any questions if you like to talk this later. Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much.